How do we at the restoration team take a flooded home and make it livable again? Well, the short answer is a lot of faith, plenty of hard work, and generous support from our donors and volunteers, which, hey, could be you. But while we're at it, let's get into the steps. There are a few. First, we can't do anything without mucking and gutting the home. This is when we remove anything and everything that received flood damage. This would be floors, drywall, insulation, furniture, and cabinets. Here's a little pro tip. You don't have to throw away a toilet. It's made to get wet. Next, we're going to remediate the mold. It's not enough to just get rid of the walls because there's still mold living in the open wood. If we cover up moldy studs with new drywall, the mold isn't going anywhere and will cause health problems down the line. To remediate, we treat the bare studs with a chemical that stops the mold right in its tracks. Depending on the house, we may need to work on the foundation. Over time, some of these older homes may have shifted. When a powerful flood sweeps under a house, it's possible to knock the foundation off kilter. If we're doing foundation, we want to do that first, because if we move our foundation around after the drywall, it might crack our brand new walls. Now, we'll do what we call sealing up the envelope of the home, which starts with the roof. We're going to think like a raindrop and do everything we can to keep water out of the house. Once we've repaired or replaced the roof, if it's necessary, we'll check on the siding to see if any of that needs replacing. Alright, the inside is clear and clean, and the outside is watertight. Depending on the shape of the home, there might be some framing to do. A rotten stud here, a broken joist there. We'll make sure the home is structurally sound and as safe as possible. And since the walls are open, now is a great time to call up our electrician and upgrade the electricity in the home. As you can imagine, sitting water doesn't bode well for electric wires. If the plumbing needs an upgrade too, we want to get to that before all the walls go up. With all that out of the way, now we can get to work inside. First, we want to put up a vapor barrier on all the perimeter walls. On brick homes, we do this from the inside. On jobs where we replace siding, we can do it from the outside. A vapor barrier keeps outside water from creeping in and wicking onto insulation and drywall. Speaking of which, now it's time to insulate. We'll make it warm in the winter and cool in the summer by installing fiberglass insulation in all exterior walls and ceilings. On top of the insulation goes drywall. After we hang the drywall on all the ceilings and walls, we'll tape all of the seams, mud all the tape and screws, and then sand the mud smooth. The finished walls are now ready to texture. Texture is those little bumps that you see all over the wall. Think of like an orange peel or a football. We do this to hide little imperfections from the mudding process, even though, hey, we got nothing to hide, of course. After we roll the texture on, the walls are ready to paint. Walls need to be primed first, and then we'll take at least 2 coats of paint to look real nice. We're done, right? Well, not quite. We'll hang doors and windows, install kitchen and bathroom cabinets, and lay floors. We want to make sure to paint before we lay the floors so we're not making a mess on our brand new laminate. Next, we'll run trim around the base of the walls and around doors and windows. Trim has to be painted too. We do a flat finish on the walls and a semi-gloss on doors and trim. Now, all that's left is installing fixtures and appliances. That means toilets, showers, sinks, washing machines, lights, ceiling fans. It might be different for each house depending on what they need. And after a final clean, now we have our favorite step, move-in day. All that hard work, all those trips to the hardware store, all those volunteer hours are worth it to see a family in a safe, livable housing situation. And guess what? You can fit into any of these steps. Go over to therestorationteam.org to see how you can get involved. Want to be involved but can't volunteer? Well, we've got you covered with a big old donate button that you can't miss. These families need your help, and we hope you can join.